Okay, so you're probably wondering what I talk about when I say shower theory in the title. And just like shower thoughts, right? When you're in the shower, you have more creative ideas, and we all know that's because your attention is not projected on something. So right now I'm projecting my attention on making this video. Earlier today I was scrolling, so I was projecting my attention on my cell phone. And we're always projecting our attention into something. Rather it's the TV, the computer, the cell phone, a book, writing, talking with people. And it's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing when you don't give your mind space. So talking with people would not be a good example of that. But if you never give your mind the space it needs, you're going to never come up with ideas on your own. And that's why shower time makes us have more ideas, because it's the time of the day where we give space to the mind. The attention is centralized towards us, towards nothing in particular, and instead of just being focused on something like it is throughout the day. And the shower theory I'm talking about in the title is a shower idea. So it came to me in the shower, and let me explain it. So I was washing, and then there was something like that came to my mind. I really wanted to do that. I had an objective, and what was preventing me from getting to that point was the fact that I was in the shower, that I had to dry myself, that I had to dress up. So I had an idea in the shower, like we all do, and I wanted to write this idea down. And I wanted to do it quickly because I was forgetting the details that first came to me in the original one. So that's where, while thinking about this idea, I also came up with the shower theory. And the shower theory is that it's a metaphor for life. So I had an idea in the shower, and I wanted to get out of it as soon as I could. So I was already done washing, so I did not have to rinse myself. But there were many steps on my way in order for me to write on my computer. The first one was to scrape the water out of the shower with these tools, So I had to do that in order to prevent whatever to happen to the shower. So if I want to keep it clean, I had to do that. And then secondly, I had to dry myself because I needed to walk from the bathroom to my bedroom where my computer was, where I wanted to write the idea. So I had to do that. I also had to make sure to replace my towel after I was dry. And I also many little steps in order to get to the computer. I wanted to apply moisturizer before touching my keyboard. I also wanted to apply chapstick after taking the shower. And there was all these little things I wanted to do that were important in the context where I did not have an idea. And that's where my shower theory enters, is that I asked myself, life is a bit like that. If you have a greater plan, like a big plan, like if you have an idea for what you want to do in life, then the small steps, they appear to be arranged in a way that makes sense. And it's the same with my shower yesterday. So I wanted to write that down, and all these small steps, they did not matter as much to me as they would usually do. Because I had an idea that I wanted to write this thing on my computer, I did not have the time to do all the small steps, because otherwise I would have forgotten the idea. So the thing is, my question is, in life, if you have a greater plan, all the small steps that are not worth your time are kind of meaningless. And it's mostly a question I'm asking you guys, because I want to know what you guys think about it. In my head, if you have a plan in life, and this plan, I don't mean as something you want to achieve. I don't mean as writing a book. I think that cannot be your plan in life, because once you achieve it, you're just gonna have the gold medal syndrome, right? Whatever it's called. You're just gonna be depressed because you reached the point you wanted to reach. But what I mean by plan is, if you live in accordance with your own self, then everything just makes sense, and you don't want to lose your time with things that you know are not worth your time, right? I had this idea I wanted to write down. I did not take the time to scrape the shower as much as I would usually do. So my question is, if you have something in life that you really want to achieve, whether it's living in accordance to yourself, that's more vague and abstract, but let's say you want to write a book, or you have this life project of like starting a business that helps, not a business, but like an association that helps people in need. If you see what you want from life, then you will give a sense to these small daily actions. Does that make sense? Because I feel like if you're just wandering through life, you're just gonna project your vital energy on whatever it's coming at you. So let's say if I did not have the idea to write the things I wanted to write, I would have just remained in the shower and take the time to scrape thoroughly and dry myself very good and gently put the moisturizer, and then I would have like opened the book that I did not really want to read just by with an habit, right? And I would have went to sleep. But I had this plan, and all the small steps in this case I dropped them, but in another case maybe they just have more meaning. And I don't know if that makes sense, because in a personal thing that happened recently, I had a breakthrough mentally. So I won't go into details, I won't even explain what it is, but I had something that I realized, and then I went back to look at my mindset throughout the last year, and with the missing key, everything made sense. So it's like if it was a puzzle that I could not see the drawing without this last piece I placed like last week, and now everything makes sense. And I feel like it's the same with life. If you have a plan, if you have something you want to get from life, if you want something you want to achieve, give to other people, if there's something, the small actions will have a meaning. And is this a true theory? That's my question. I did not look into it, I did not read books about it. I'm just talking about what I thought about yesterday, and I want you guys to tell me if that makes sense. Or do we have to just live things for what they are? Because I know that's a bit of the more some philosophies position, and the issue is that there is no inherent meaning to life, and there is no quest, and there is no nothing. You just have to do the small things in a way that makes you appreciate them. So I know I read a book about a Vietnamese monk. The book is here and the author is here. I remember he said like drink your coffee mindfully, or your tea when you're doing the dishes. Just be present with the dishes, and that's how you're gonna feel power and empowered from life, and that's how you're gonna enjoy the small things. And in this Buddhist idea where desire causes suffering, right? So if you desire something, it can only bring suffering. So is this idea I'm having the complete opposite of the Buddhist ideas, or is it can it exist in the same plan of idea as the Buddhist mentality? That is my question. So is there an answer to my question? Should we like live life super quickly because we have plans, we have ideas, or should we slow down and apply our minds to the small details and just appreciate what's coming from life? Because personally, I'm gonna get a bit personal here, but I tried to appreciate the smaller things as they are. Maybe there's also a temporal aspect to the question, because when I tried to do that, it was in a phase of my life where I was feeling change was something important. I was not necessarily at peace with myself. The time I tried to enjoy my tea, read my book, I was not feeling peaceful, even though I was trying really hard to appreciate the small things. And I was feeling like there was this greater thing I wanted to do. And that's what I'm doing by starting this channel. Is just I like to create things. I like to put my ideas into existence. And I know it's not necessarily the case, but I feel like there's a contradiction between enjoying life for what it is and wanting to achieve in life. I don't know, I cannot explain it with words right now, especially one part because it's very late, and on the other because I did not think through this thing I had the idea about. But is the desire to accomplish from life and to really squeeze every minute you have, because right now that's how I'm feeling. That with university, I'm starting something new that is very exciting to me. With life in general, I just want to live life, experience it, right? I want life to hit me in the face. And I'm very young. I know I won't think the same when I'll be like older, but right now that's how I want to feel. And I feel like enjoying my little tea in the morning cannot coexist with the idea to live life at like 100 miles an hour. And I know it's a question that is very depending on the setting of the individual, and it's very personal to me, and there's no right answer, but I just wanted to record a bit about what my idea about it was. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.